Well, today is the day. It's hot, it's humid, it's a miserable summer in Memphis as usual, but I am in Memphis and this is what we're doing. Today I am headed out to do some vinyl shopping and maybe even hit a couple of comic shops, local businesses here in Memphis that some I've been to before, some I have not. But just looked like a good day to just kind of get out, take my time going around, seeing some of these places and maybe seeing if I can pick something up. So I'm starting out downtown. I made it down to Beale Street. I'm just now arriving here on Beale Street. I haven't done this in decades. It's a place I drive by all the time, just never really have stopped and gotten out of the car on Beale Street in as long as I can remember. So anyway, there's a shop over here I want to check out with some vinyl and maybe some other fun stuff. Yeah, this place is really deserted during the daytime. There is a ton of music history on this street, dating all the way back to the blues. And even Elvis used to come down here and listen to a lot of the performers. Got a lot of inspiration down here. Just a really kind of ground zero for a lot of musical history for sure in the South. This building alone is one of the oldest buildings out here. This thing's been around since the mid 1800s. This is our first stop, Memphis Music. We'll check out and see if they got anything worth getting. They don't have a ton of vinyl selection. It's just kind of this one small section back here, but what they have is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's not too shabby. So I thought it was pretty interesting that I was looking in the Kiss section here, and there's actually some bootleg albums, which I thought was a little unusual for a store to have bootleg albums. It's just demos and unreleased tracks and things along those lines, but yeah, pretty interesting. I almost picked them up, but I decided not to. They had quite a good selection of t-shirts here as well. I ended up picking up one with the logo for Memphis Music, the actual store that I'm in right here. That was a pretty cool shirt, so I went ahead and grabbed one of those. So I picked up a shirt and a magnet. I'll show that later when I get home. Now that building over there used to be Elvis Presley's Memphis. It was a restaurant, and an Elvis-themed restaurant, clearly. After that, it was a Hard Rock, and currently it sits empty. And then right over here, can't remember when they installed this, but there's an Elvis statue over here I haven't seen in years. But this has been here for quite a while. Feels pretty pleasant in the shade. But boy, you get out in that sun, it is hot. Hot, hot. So the next place I'm headed to is called River City Records. Back in the day, there used to be a River City Records here. I don't know if it's any affiliation. It wasn't in this location at all. It was a very small mom and pop place that friends and I used to go back in the 80s and 90s, but probably just a coincidence that it's named the same. Yeah, this is definitely a cool place to shop for vinyl. Really good selection, quite a bit of options, and I ended up picking up one album here. I got Kiss's debut album. Now that I'm kind of going back and reacquiring all of my vinyl that I used to have back in the day, at least as far as Kiss is concerned. But yeah, this is definitely a cool store, and I recommend it. Speaking of Memphis music, this is a very underrated Memphis band, a rock band basically back from the 70s called Big Star. Probably the most well-known member was Alex Chilton. They went on to release a handful of albums, just never really made it big. Okay, that was River City Records. Now I'm headed back to the car to drive off to my next destination. Next stop will be in Midtown, in the actually up on Madison Avenue. So that'll be the next stop. That's the FedEx Forum over there. That's the biggest venue in town now, where all the big concerts come, and the Memphis Grizzlies play there. Been to a few Grizzlies games in there. It's a nice venue. I have arrived now at Shangri-La Records here on Madison Avenue, right across from Huey's, which is a Memphis staple hamburger place. So let's go in, and this is my first time here, so let's go check it out. So this store was by far the largest of the three I'd been to thus far. Tons of choices, things like that. It was pretty cool. It expanded into multiple rooms. Every time you thought you saw the last room, all of a sudden you'd walk into another one. And then this room I'm in here, I thought was really cool because at the back they had a magazine stand with tons of different music magazines, things like that. Thought that was really cool. That is a classic from the 80s. So that was Shangri-La Records. Now I have made my way over to the area called Cooper Young, like the Cooper Young district. And there's two stops. There are two stores here at this one stop that I'm going to go to. Yeah, one is is 901 Comics, which I've been to a few times before, and another one is Goner Records, which was actually, I was turned on to this place by my cousin who used to live here. But I've been there before as well, but it's really cool. So I'm gonna go in and check them out. So again, this is not my first time in Goner Records. I've been here at least a couple of times over the last probably 4 or 5 years. But predominantly, even though they do have all genres, they tend to focus on not only Memphis music, but a lot of indie music as well. So that's actually what you're going to hear a lot when you're in here. But again, they do have all the standard, musical genres and all the popular acts. Obviously, we've got Elvis. He also checks the local music box as well. Okay, on another note, It's hot. It is toasty out here. Right now the heat index is 94, 95 degrees, which is very normal for Memphis this time of year. Very humid, sticky hot. So anyway, all right, going down to the next stop, just a couple of doors down to 901 Comics. Yep, 901 Comics it is. Let's check it out. Hey, how you doing today? Good, good. You guys remodeled since last time I was in here. But the counter used to be here. Nice. There wasn't a whole lot in there. They've kind of rearranged things a little bit. Didn't seem to have near as much stuff as they used to. Used to have a lot more, but that's all right. I saved the best for last, going to my final destination for the day. As far as these stores are concerned, going to Memphis Comics and Collectibles. This place is a Memphis tradition that's been around for more than 50 years. Not in this location where I'm going, but it used to be on South Highland. Now they've long since moved over just off Poplar Avenue. So that's where I'm headed next, if I don't melt first. Whew. Wow. It is not playing out here. I have made it to my last stop of the day. Comics and Collectibles. Here's the staple of Memphis for decades and decades. Let's go check it out. So right over there, right across from Comics and Collectibles, is this place that's pretty important to me. Right there in that suite, right there. I got my first haircut as a baby. I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody watching this thing but me, but that's it's pretty cool for me. That's where my first barbershop, and I got my haircut there for actually the first several years. That was my very first haircut. Anyway, moving on. From one Memphis staple for me to another, I'm getting lunch at Tops. This is my favorite barbecue sandwich place in Memphis. It has been for 50 plus years. All right, that's going to wrap up today's adventure. Thanks for tagging along vicariously. Got to see a lot of great vinyl stores, one or two I'd never been to before, a couple of comic shops I have been to before. So had a blast getting out and seeing the sights in Memphis, as I always do. Grew up here, lived here 35 or so years before moving down to Florida about 20 years ago. So you do the math. Anyway, it's hot. I'm tired. I'm ready to go take my lunch home and eat it. And this is actually just about to wrap up my holiday weekend. I came down here for the 4th of July weekend to see mom and dad and friends, things like that. And it's been a great trip, a quick trip. Usually I'm here, you know, for a couple of weeks, but I'm only here for about 4 or 5 days this time. So anyway, gonna hit the road back in the morning, I actually drove, so I'm heading back down to Florida, starting first thing in the morning. Anyway, thanks a lot for liking, subscribing, supporting the channel, and watching and all that good stuff. Thanks for sharing it with others. And until next time, I'm done here.